Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be reviewing Love on the Brain, or should I say, tropes thrown away. Because, wow. So one of my goals for this year was I am trying to find a book by Ali Hazelwood that I enjoyed as much as Love Theoretically, which I still own. It's currently boxed up for when I move to my new house. And I've heard a lot of stories about Ali Hazelwood's writing. I just didn't suspect it would be as bad as it reads. So back when I was a kid, I used to write a lot of fan fiction, and I can't lie, other than Love Theoretically, all of her other books that I've read thus far read like fan fiction wrote by a 12-year-old. And Love in the Brain, it managed to piss me off more than it managed to do anything else, to be honest. So I like a good romance story when there's romance. This just didn't feel romantic by any means, shape, or form. So for anyone who doesn't want spoilers, I do try and keep these spoiler free, but I don't know what people do class as a spoiler, but a lot of the tropes are going to be discussed in this book that are in this book in this video. I have also read 3 other of her books in the Loathe to Love You trilogy, novella, whatever you want to call that book, but today we are just focusing on Love on the Brain. Whether or not I will find a book that is as good as Love Theoretically, I'm starting to highly doubt it after reading 4 books and them all just reading very poorly to me, in my opinion. This sounds like it was wrote by a 12-year-old who's got Pinterest open up on their laptop and they're trying to find references that they can make to try and build their world more, but rather than being charming, it comes across as rather boring. Like, it's just boring. This is a enemies to lovers. It is a grumpy and sunshine. So we've got Levi and we've got I can't remember her name. I don't know why. Best thing I can do is say that she talks about Marie Curie non-stop. Marie Curie is her personality. And that she's supposed to be quirky and fun and lovable. And I found her character in the first 15 or so pages to be fun and lovable, but after 15 pages it just dropped off. Like, the whole story just dropped off. Now, enemies to lovers, when it doesn't feel rushed or forced, is a fun trope that I do enjoy reading. But when we're on 15 pages and the big muscular man's got to come save her from something, and it's her mortal enemy, and she's describing him as hot, and this is a guy that has broken off her, he didn't break off her engagement to another guy, he convinced the other guy to break off the engagement, so they were no longer getting married. And he's kind of swooping in for the girl. In this book, it just kind of feels really dodgy. Like, when we have Grumpy to Sunshine, we want to see that slow progression of friendship. We want to see, the world building these characters, learning more about each other. The miscommunication in here wasn't too bad compared to other books by Ali Hazelwood. However, I think he's dodgy. I don't care how handsome you write him off to be. If you are breaking off someone who is apparently your best mate's relationship to a woman, and then you are later going to date said woman, I don't know why we are finding that attractive. That's toxic. I don't care how anyone really looks. Or, if you like those kind of books, Love on the Brain, absolutely 10 out of 10, 100%. For you. Well, as someone who has a lot of nerdy hobbies as well, a lot of the nerdy references felt like too much. And as well, she was so hyperfixated on Marie Curie. This book might as well have just been called Marie Curie on the Brain. There's a way to include it and it be smart and fun and lovable. There's a way to include it, and it could seem perhaps like autism or something like that. I'm saying this as someone who's on the spectrum myself. It just read as Marie Curie this, Marie Curie that. That is her only personality, and her dyed hair. Which, if you're going to write an alt girly, please include. Give them some personality. I don't really know how else to phrase it. Just give them some personality other than I'm quirky. Like, you can be quirky and fun and charming without about one thing all the time. Like, it was annoying. And Levi, our brooding, socially awkward love interest, it read like Cat Noir from Miraculous Ladybug, but it just didn't hit as... That kind of ruined it for me, I can't lie, and everything just... The miscommunication between them was really unnecessary. Some of the background story that was going on about accounts online, and just so misandrous was this book. I don't like misogyny, I also don't like misandry. This book, page in, page out, misandry after misandry after misandry. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that word right. That it just... You can be a strong, independent lead without being stupid. For someone who's so smart and doesn't need anyone to come help her or rescue her, she needed help in rescuing an awful lot in this book. I did not love B. There we go, that's her name. B. Just... I'm more surprised that Jodie Picoult? Hope I'm saying that right. Enjoyed this book, to be honest, because I loved quite a few of her books, which was another reason why I was looking forward to this, because an author, like it says on the back here, Ali Hazelwood proves that science is sexy as hell and that love can stem from the most unlikely places. She's my newest must-buy author. I want my refund back for the 85p I loaned this for. It didn't hit. I really thought of all the books that I've read, this was going to be the one that I got that magic that I read in Love Theoretically back. Because, don't get me wrong, there's elements of a lot of the things I've talked about in this book in Love Theoretically, but it felt like an actual world, whereas this felt like it was a Twitter roleplay, and it was just reading, and on some of the pages there's emojis in the book. I understand that it's 2025, but good literature does not need emojis to carry the plot. It can be great if you're talking about, even if you're discussing in a book what texts have been sent, what emails have been sent. I read quite a lot of books. I very rarely see emojis included, and it can be fun, it can be quirky, it can make the book interesting, but for the most part, if it's not in a picture, it just doesn't read well. This is the only book of Ali Hazelwood I would rate as a 1 star. That's how much I didn't enjoy it. It felt more like it was mocking nerds than it was inviting us to read it, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. I do know why I want to read all of Ali Hazelwood's books, because I am literally desperate to try to find one of her books that I am going to enjoy. Love Theoretically was a book that I felt like I was there as I was reading it, and the second-hand emotions from a lot of the characters throughout the plot were fun, but this just read like slop. I don't know how else to describe it. It read like slop. I didn't think she could get any worse with her books, because a lot of them read really funny, or they use a lot of big words, which when strung together should make sense, and they don't. It just seems like a kid has wrote a book and then used a dictionary to try and make them sound smarter, and it very much quite a few times throughout this book was given that sort of vibe off, and it made me feel stupid reading it, but not in a sense of like, oh, I just don't know what's going on. No, there's so much in here that didn't make any sense. gonna give one more of Ali Hazelwood's books a go, and then if that isn't, I'm probably just gonna drop this challenge to read all of Ali Hazelwood's books, because I know Plant-Based Bride only has read like 2 of them and was giving them a second chance. I've read 4 in like 2 days. So the novella series, which I'll do a separate video on, as well as Love in the Brain, and it is just, it reads like slop. It reads like something I would have wrote when I was writing fanfiction as a teenager. I get secondhand embarrassment reading this, because I very rarely show anyone like my fanfiction as well that I used to write as a kid what is going on, and why is most of the plot just doesn't seem natural, it doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem properly done, it doesn't make sense in so many ways. I was hoping this book would get better when I was reading towards the end. It didn't. But yeah, if you've read this book and you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it, because even if you have something nice to say about the book, I'd still love to hear what your opinion was on it, because I think one of the joys on life is being able to discuss things we like and hate about different things. And I am curious what people who might have a different opinion to me think. I'm also curious to if anyone else that I've spoken to about this book also shares similar opinions, because I know of 2 people that do, and a few people have told me to go back and read it again, and I will not be going back and reading it again. You could not pay me to reread this again. It just was not good for me. But yeah, I will see you in the next one, and hopefully soon I will finish painting that bit above my wall as well, because that needs doing. It looks funny in the videos. But yeah, I also have a video upcoming soon where I will be reviewing and talking about books recommended to me by other YouTubers. So if you are interested in seeing that video, it will be coming out about the 15th of March. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.